Vegans and vegetarians often have a difficult time in Korea, the land of meat and barbecue. Even their kimchi and tofu stews usually contain some sort of fish. The secret to discovering the best vegetarian food is to find a Buddhist temple. I've heard about a temple restaurant in Seoul run by a female monk called Daeon that is famed for its vegetarian Buddhist cuisine. Daeon has worked tirelessly to popularize this style of food, and I've come here to find out why restaurants like Baru Gongyang are so on trend in modern Korea. I feel like I've just sat down at a 5-star restaurant. This is so incredibly beautiful.
중에서 제일 관심이 가는 부분이 어디냐고 물어보세요.
So which one is the big attraction to you?
Me? I would have to say this right here. It's in a lotus flower, right?
Lotus flower fruits.
It's beautiful.
The round one is a lotus seeds.
그렇죠.
Really? I've never had a lotus seed. This is a real treat for me. This is very special. Thank you. As well as meat, temple food traditionally avoids the use of 5 taboo ingredients that are believed to distract your focus during meditation. They are garlic and 4 members of the onion family.
I don't miss onion or garlic at all.
Okay, she want to see you this sesame seed soup.
Sesame seed soup.
Right.
Ah. This just proves to anybody that isn't a fan of vegetarian food that you can really eat excitingly and vibrantly without any kind of meat. I am so impressed.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make a 순두부찌개, which is from silken tofu, and it is one of the best vegetarian dishes there is because it's full of umami. And one of the great things that Korea does with their vegetable stocks is use dashima. Now this is seaweed. It's a different type of seaweed than what you use to roll sushi. It's much thicker, looks like bark, has a really rich smell to it, and it's the base of your vegetarian soup. Let me cut a piece. And this is the source of umami. Umami, which kind of translates to savory, pleasant taste. And that's gonna go into my pot to make my dashima stock with just white onions and spring onions. And another really rich in umami ingredient are mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. Now these are dried. Because of that, they have really intense flavor. You can chuck those in. Just need to pour some water on. Those ingredients are gonna make this stock extra, extra flavorful. And it really is that simple. And what else to fill this vegetarian pot full of but great vegetables? I'm gonna start out just with some more white onions. I'm gonna cut things up in dice. Everything's just gonna soften lightly. Some ginger. Put as much as you want. I quite like ginger. Garlic. And this stew is so packed full of different tastes that you really don't miss the meat. And I find that that's the trick of making something vegetarian is when a meat eater eats it and they actually really like it. I'm gonna put in my Korean chili flakes, the gochugaru, a good amount. Depending on how spicy you like things, don't brown it. It can burn quite easily, so keep it on low heat. And that's ready for the stock to be added. I've got my traditional family-style Korean pot here. Oh, that's gorgeous. And this stock has taken on a really great golden color after cooking for about 30 minutes. And it's got a bit of a flavor of the seed too that I can smell from the seaweed. We're gonna fill our pot with a lot of great vegetables. I like to use courgettes or zucchinis because they add such a great element of color. I love vegetables personally, which is another reason why I love Korean cuisine. It's because usually you'll find that 2/3 of your plate at least is covered with vegetables. Just do a mix of mushrooms. These enokis are really easy to cut with your scissors. And shiitakes, of course, that marries with the shiitakes that we had in our stock. Some button mushrooms as well. Give that a stir. Spinach. Throw a lot of that in there. Korean cabbage, which is also Napa cabbage. I'm just gonna let that come to a boil so the vegetables soften. Season it a bit with Korean sea salt. Time to add special ingredient, which is silken tofu. This is your source of protein. And you just split them open and then dump it right in. And you put it in last because it's so soft that it breaks up really easily. And you don't want it to just turn into small little bits. And you're just gonna cook this just till it heats through. And the last finishing touch, to add a bit of creaminess, is to add a couple of raw eggs, which I'm gonna mix through. That's gonna poach in that bubbling stock. One bubbling ladleful. And Koreans do like to eat their food quite hot, temperature-wise and spice-wise. A little bit of garnish on top, chopped chives, fresh chilies, and spring onions. And that is my chock full of veggies, hearty 순두부찌개. That really is the best vegetarian stock you can make, and it is so incredibly simple for the flavor and the complexity that you get. And I've paired this with a really great bowl of brown rice, some spinach, some pickled radish, and some sesame leaves to make an ultimate vegetarian feast. And trust me, with this, you're not gonna miss the meat at all.